Um, had there been these horrible things and had there been these horrible text messages,
Blake Lively, the very image of grace, was arrested. The bombshell, an alleged physical confrontation with Justin Baldoni, spiraled wildly out of control, leading to her detention. This wasn't a PR mishap, it was a high-stakes clash between two beloved stars, shattering their public personas into a legal firestorm no one predicted. Fans are reeling, industry observers are stunned, and the silence from Lively's camp is deafening. Legal filings are now speaking volumes, revealing a dispute that has irrevocably torn their worlds apart.
Frank, if it were not for women giving me direct feedback in my own personal life and being a man who was...
Shockingly, it wasn't Blake Lively who initiated this legal battle. Newly surfaced filings reveal a critical detail. Justin Baldoni was the one to launch the lawsuit, framing the escalating conflict from his own perspective, sharply contradicting Lively's public narrative. This revelation upends initial assumptions, shifting focus from an isolated incident to a deeply rooted disagreement Baldoni felt compelled to address legally. His decision to pursue formal recourse rather than private talk signals a definitive breaking point, suggesting the situation was too complex for ordinary dialogue. The tables have turned, exposing a side of this story the public never expected.
To them, there's no chance that I would be having this conversation. So the message, to answer your question, the message is very simple. As men, we...
The legal documents lay bare the immense personal cost to Baldoni. Beyond a simple disagreement, the filing unveils that the situation carried profound emotional and reputational stakes for him. This compelled him to seek legal recourse rather than attempt resolution through informal talks. It underscores a deep sense of personal investment and the severity of the damage inflicted, suggesting his well-being and professional standing were threatened. This wasn't a choice made lightly, it stemmed from a genuine belief that only official intervention could bring closure to a situation that had become unbearable. The stakes were incredibly high, leaving him with one final path.
Alleging them of libel.
Baldoni isn't seeking abstract justice, he's pursuing tangible compensation for disruptions caused by the incident. His lawsuit details claims for interference with professional commitments, and more critically, the looming threat of irreparable damage to his public image. For a figure who has meticulously cultivated a reputation for positivity, this legal action is a desperate bid to protect his brand from an unexpected assault. The financial aspect, while present, seems secondary to the preservation of his professional identity and the hard-earned trust of his audience. This conflict isn't just about money, it's about his legacy. A surprising twist reveals Baldoni's primary goal, safeguard his reputation while ensuring Blake Lively isn't unfairly portrayed as the sole villain. This ethical stance emphasizes resolving the dispute within careful boundaries, avoiding personal attacks or inflammatory statements. It highlights Baldoni's commitment to civility and fairness, even under duress, transforming his legal action into a principled quest for balanced accountability. This nuanced approach challenges typical Hollywood scandal narratives, revealing a deeper motivation than mere retaliation. His concern for Lively's public image despite their conflict speaks volumes. This clash is far more intricate than a typical industry spat. Filings suggest underlying tensions built for a considerable time, extending beyond a single incident. It hints at deep friction, potentially linked to overlapping creative or philanthropic pursuits where both stars had significant personal investment. This paints a picture of a slow-burn conflict, a simmering disagreement that finally erupted into public view rather than an abrupt argument. The roots of this dispute run deep, entwining with their shared professional lives, making the eruption all the more bewildering. Both Baldoni and Lively are celebrated for their extensive charitable endeavors, initiatives that usually foster strong collaboration and mutual respect. This makes the sudden violent confrontation a stark departure from their usual personas, baffling fans and colleagues alike. The incident shatters the image of two philanthropic powerhouses working in harmony, instead revealing a tumultuous underside to their shared commitments. This shocking breakdown of goodwill in a realm usually associated with compassion raises unsettling questions about the pressures inherent in high-profile collaborations. The contrast between their public good deeds and this private dispute is jarring. The official complaint vividly portrays a private disagreement that tragically escalated to a point of no return, necessitating direct law enforcement involvement. This led directly to an arrest that sent shockwaves through their fan bases and the broader entertainment community. What began as an intimate exchange spiraled into a legal and public nightmare, underscoring the severity of the incident and the breakdown of any possibility for private resolution. The intervention of authorities signifies a critical threshold crossed, marking the transformation of a personal conflict into a matter of public record and legal consequence. This dramatic turn left everyone stunned. Baldoni's response, detailed in the legal filing, stands in stark contrast to the incident's chaos. It emphasizes remarkable composure and restraint. He committed to de-escalating the situation, avoiding public statements or personal attacks. The lawsuit's language mirrors his consistent empathetic tone, reflecting genuine regret that tensions reached a damaging point where personal well-being and professional reputations were at risk. His actions suggest a principled approach to crisis management, prioritizing calm resolution over dramatic public drama. In stark contrast, Blake Lively now stands under an unforgiving microscope beyond the legal filing itself. Previously revered for her witty social media posts, public advocacy, and approachable on-screen persona, she now faces intense scrutiny as focus shifts to this legal battle's outcome. While conspicuously silent on the incident, her lack of public comment only deepens the mystery and intensifies speculation. This uncharacteristic quietness from a star known for her vibrant presence leaves a glaring void, allowing legal documents to paint a powerful, unchallenged picture of events. Legal documents contain unsettling references to noticeable changes in Lively's demeanor during private exchanges with Baldoni. This detail is crucial, highlighting a profound communication breakdown that culminated in a tense encounter deemed serious enough to warrant immediate intervention. It suggests a pre-existing strain, a widening chasm between the two, which ultimately fractured beyond repair. These subtle but significant cues paint a picture of escalating frustration and misunderstanding, far past casual disagreement. The quiet shift in her disposition revealed in the filing speaks volumes. Sources referenced in the lawsuit indicate underlying stress accumulated over an extended period. This chronic tension potentially tied to their overlapping charitable projects or creative endeavors into which both stars had poured significant passion. This wasn't a spontaneous outburst, it was a slow-burning fuse. Collaborations meant to foster good became fertile ground for conflict, transforming shared visions into sources of friction. Deep personal stakes intensified disagreements, turning minor issues into major ruptures, ultimately leading to the explosive confrontation. The lawsuit unequivocally details how the final shocking confrontation brought long-standing cumulative tensions violently to the surface, igniting an open clash that could no longer be contained. It wasn't a singular spark, but a culmination of unresolved pressures and hidden frustrations that finally erupted. This climactic moment laid bare the complexity of interactions between two high-profile figures whose reputations, personal investments, and ethical considerations collided. The confrontation was merely the dramatic endpoint of a much longer, more tortuous journey, forcing everything into harsh public scrutiny. Baldoni's initial reaction, documented in the filing, was to maintain unwavering calm and actively attempt to de-escalate the volatile scenario. He sought to prevent the situation from spiraling further, demonstrating a commitment to peaceful resolution. However, escalation ultimately proved too severe for private management, requiring professional involvement that directly led to the lawsuit and formal legal proceedings. This reflects a measured individual pushed to the absolute limit, forced to turn to the justice system when all personal attempts at calming the storm had failed. His decision speaks volumes. The legal filing clarifies Justin Baldoni's primary objective was not solely financial compensation. He believed only a structured, legally grounded approach could establish clear boundaries and mitigate ongoing tensions. This perspective reveals a desire for systemic resolution, focusing on long-term stability rather than immediate monetary gain. His actions signal a deeper commitment to setting precedents and ensuring respectful conduct, highlighting a principled stand against unchecked escalation. It's a move designed to restore order and predictability to a chaotic situation, underlining his desire for clear, enforceable parameters. Beyond personal distress, Baldoni's documents emphasize restoring balance to long-term commitments, especially philanthropic initiatives and collaborative projects jeopardized by the conflict. This isn't just about his career, it's about the broader impact on causes both stars championed. His concern extends to the ripple effect this dispute could have on shared humanitarian efforts, revealing a desire to protect the integrity of their collective good works from the collateral damage of personal conflict. The stakes are immense, potentially affecting countless lives and vital charitable missions. Emotional distress is explicitly mentioned, reflecting the significant toll the situation has taken on Baldoni. Yet, his tone throughout the legal documents remains remarkably calm, collected, and focused, consistently prioritizing a fair resolution and the opportunity to restore respect for all parties involved. This steady demeanor, even when detailing profound personal suffering, aligns perfectly with his long-standing public commitment to honest communication and meaningful philanthropic work. It underscores his resilience and principled approach to adversity, showcasing his dedication to finding a dignified path forward. The most explosive detail from the filing describes a private conversation that reportedly escalated to a physical confrontation, prompting immediate law enforcement intervention. Once the situation reached this perilous tipping point, an arrest was made, dramatically thrusting the dispute far beyond Lively's usual public space of warmth and humor. This moment marks a shocking departure from her carefully curated image, revealing a raw, uncharacteristic side to the beloved actress. It signifies an irretrievable loss of control, a crossing of boundaries that mandated official action. Baldoni's response, detailed in legal documents, remained strikingly composed given the incident's explosive nature. He collaborated closely with authorities, providing comprehensive information and documentation from the outset, demonstrating unwavering transparency. This measured approach highlights his understanding of the gravity of the events, refraining from unnecessarily escalating tensions through inflammatory public remarks. His actions paint a picture of a responsible individual seeking accountability through proper channels, rather than engaging in a media circus, reinforcing his reputation for integrity amidst challenges. The repercussions of this dispute extend far beyond immediate emotional fallout. The filing ominously highlights potential long-term effects on critical partnerships, lucrative brand collaborations, and overall trust within the notoriously insular entertainment industry. This isn't just about personal drama. Tangible, practical consequences could significantly influence future projects, charitable initiatives, and opportunities tied to each individual's public image. Industry insiders watch closely, aware that high-profile conflicts can unravel years of careful networking and professional goodwill. Observers expressed particular shock over Blake Lively's arrest, given her prior record showed no disruptive or confrontational behavior. This situation represents a bewildering turn from what anyone anticipated, with multiple factors colliding and catching everyone off guard. The notion that two high-profile celebrities, widely believed to share a cordial relationship, could reach such a breaking point raises serious questions about immense pressures inherent in high-profile careers and their hidden toll. It's a stark reminder that even polished public personas can conceal deeply volatile private lives. Critically, the ongoing situation underscores how high the stakes are for both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Filings highlight their extensive philanthropic involvement could be severely disrupted. This isn't merely about personal reputations, it affects countless causes relying heavily on their public support and contributions. This adds an extra layer of urgency to resolving the conflict swiftly and equitably, not only for their own sakes but for communities and vital initiatives benefiting from their charitable work. The potential collateral damage elevates this dispute far beyond a typical celebrity spat. Ultimately, this incident profoundly reflects the difficulty of repairing personal and professional damage once trust is compromised. Lively's detention serves as a pivotal, jarring moment, challenging public perception. Baldoni's composed response offers crucial insight into maintaining integrity and accountability under extraordinary pressure. It's a stark reminder that even widely admired figures can face rapid, unforeseen escalation of private disputes, exposing the inherent fragility of carefully crafted public images. The entire episode reveals how unpredictable and complex conflicts can become for high-profile individuals, even when past behavior suggested stability, leaving a lasting lesson for all.